Hey, Todd.
Hey, I was trying to see if this was working here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. I just learned my speech. I got all that situated.
Okay.
When are you going to input the video and in the slideshow?
It's probably going to be before your little bit right there, and then you can kind of go into more detail about it.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Looks like a couple of people are waiting to get in already. So.
Okay. Yep.
Um,
how was your day today?
it was good. Got a lot done. Went up to the school.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah. The contractor was there for my expansion for my
That's
my
right.
lab.
The other room. Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, you used to be in that room.
I know. Going back into it, helping you out this year, brought back some not so good fond memories.
Yeah, I get it.
Kyle, Leighton, oh man. Oh, I can't even tell him. My wife and Larry is like, man, I don't know how I kept my job at Eastland teaching those kids. Oh man, every day they're trying to get me fired, you know.
Yeah, they broke you in.
Oh Lord have mercy.
If you could handle them, you can handle anybody, right?
No kidding. Gosh.
Let me share my screen here, and then I can show you where that is that we're going to put that in.
Okay.
The
slideshow, right? Hey, just so you know, even though you're doing that, I can still see your face. Okay.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to let you know that.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Let's see. All right. So there's the video.
I got you.
And then there's that slide.
Cool.
Okay. And then that
Sounds
one.
great.
You just tell me when to change the slide from this one to this one. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, after I get done talking about like support sales and learning center, you can switch it. It's fine.
Okay.
I don't elaborate too much upon those things. I might say one sentence afterwards, but you can go ahead and flip it. It's fine.
Okay.
And then my last statement is kind of introducing you to talk more about career passports.
Oh, okay, cool.
So just try and get a nice, easy transition there.
Yeah. All right.
And then as far as attendance, we're going to have people type in the chat box what their name is, right?
Yeah, I put that up in the directions there. So hopefully, I don't know if it actually records a transcript of the chat. I think that's one of the files that comes in, and you have a transcript of it. So,
well, I'm going to, I'll probably just write down their names at some point, and then just double check it with the roster.
Okay.
So.
Well.
Because I could write down the roster.
Yeah, I got about 6 of them coming in here, so I'm going to start letting them in, okay?
That's fine.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
This is Mr. Watts. He's an academic teacher that's on our team. He'll be helping out. I'm Mr. Seymour. We're just going to wait. We're just going to wait to get everybody in here, and we'll go over a couple of procedural things of how the meeting's going to run and how to ask questions and things like that.
Okay. Back on the couch.
Hello.
How's I know we're a little downtime here, but how's everyone getting along so far this year?
Good.
Doing all right? Definitely a little different. I know that.
Okay, now we can hear.
More time than you know what to do with.
Right.
I didn't really go out anyway, so
Didn't really impact you a whole lot then.
Yeah.
no, did not.
Aw, puppy. Aw, bring the.
Hi, Nate. If you don't want to be on video, Nate, you can hit a button that says join without video.
I know.
Okay.
My computer just doesn't have a camera.
That's okay.
Where are you? Oh, gosh. Darn it.
Puppy.
Hey, just give us another like probably 5 minutes, guys, and we'll get started here. Trying to give everyone an opportunity to get logged in here, and the presentation will probably last, I don't know. Mr. Seymour's got a lot to talk about with his lab, and then I'll talk a little bit about the academic side, and I don't know, probably take around maybe 30 minutes or so. We should be done. So, and if you have any questions, just say it towards the end, and we can definitely address any questions you have.
Aw. Aw. Doggy, come back.
I can't pick her up. Yes, you can. No, it's not that big. Darla.
Yes, they can see us.
Darla. Okay.
So precious.
Yeah, but he's not like do it. He's rather than for you. You don't wait. It doesn't think it will help him. Oh no, now there's more.
Is he on there?
Mr. Seymour is on there,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm Mr. Seymour.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. I'm going to mute here for a little bit as I'm letting people in, and then we'll get started here, okay?
Okay. No.
Yeah, we've got about, on the roster, we've got about 30 people.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting the numbers to be high here, but so far so good. We got about 17 participants in right now. I think our administrators are going to pop in and out too, just to kind of see what's going on. I don't know if they're going to present anything. I think they're just going to be just coming through trolling. We should have had like a pre-show put together, Mr. Watts, you know?
I know. I'm not
You have
like talented. Like, I can't like play guitar or I'm
Oh,
not. Sorry.
tell some
Hello.
jokes.
Hi.
I mean, if you guys want some entertainment, I can bring my kids in here and then I can go crazy.
All right, so a couple more minutes and we'll start the presentation, and then I'll be letting them in as we go here.
On right now.
I'm supposed to be on, so I'm trying to get. What's for?
I think what we can do right now, Mr. Watts, if everybody familiarize themselves if they haven't used Zoom yet, the way we're going to take attendance, just to see what students are actually here. It's kind of hard to see, and you know, because some people's things are called iPhone or you know, a nickname. If you would go into the chat area, which is the bottom right, or yeah, well, it's right in the middle there, and go into the chat and go ahead and write your name, type your name in, first and last. That would help us take attendance. I really need to know who's here, especially who's not here, so I can get them the information. And what we're also going to do, once we get going here and I'm doing my presentation, if you could mute your microphone, just so extraneous noise in there doesn't take over and distract. But definitely we'll be having you turn those on if you have any questions or anything like that. Yeah, and if the parents are there too, go ahead and you can put your names in there too. And I just got to make sure I know who's here so I can send out the information to them. How many of you guys, raise your hand if you got my email today? Everybody got the email? Cool. I was hoping that that got out to everybody. They gave us your emails, and some of you, I had a lot sign up for Remind today, which is great, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Do you have the volume on?
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'll keep an eye on that. I'm sure some people may come in late. Let me do the introductions again. Hi, my name is Mr. Seymour. I'm the Interactive Media Instructor at Eastland Career Center. I think I'm starting, this will be like my 12th year there. Previous to that, I was at a high school down in Pickaway County called Westfall, and I was a computer technology instructor down there. Previous to that, I was a band director. So I've had kind of a strange thing here. This is Mr. Watts. If Mr. Watts, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Guys, I'm Mr. Watts. I think this is my 4th year at Eastland. I'm an intermission specialist. I mostly co-teach with math and science. And yeah, it's been pretty enjoyable experience at Eastland.
Okay, try it.
I think this is my 10th year, believe it or not. I can't believe it. Time flies. But yeah, good to see everybody.
Yeah, I'm not going to say how many years I've been teaching.
Go wait it like.
Okay, so at this time, let me go over some of the procedural stuff for us to make this work a little easier. The meeting procedures, we found out that it's a lot easier if we could just, again, if you haven't done so,
It's a you
go
problem.
ahead
It's
and
not
type
me.
your name in. And if you could also mute your microphone during the presentation, there's a hand raise feature, or if you want to unmute the microphone and interrupt, you know,
Okay, can
if
you
there's a
forward that
pressing
to me,
question.
please?
But the best way to handle questions, I think, is going to put it in the chat area. Mr. Watts is going to monitor that.
I can't hear them at all.
Yes.
Okay. Or we can just do a Q&A at the end via microphone here. Let me go back, and I have to stop. Mr. Watts, I have to stop sharing in order to admit people in. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's kind of a, tell you what, why don't, since I'm the host, yeah, I'm just going to have to do that every now and then. Just go back to see if there's anybody in there.
Hello.
All right, so if you guys could mute your microphones right now, we're going to get onto it. This is basically the agenda, what we're going to be doing. We're going to really kind of take a deep dive look into what interactive media is. This is as much for the parents as it is for the students. I think the students understand it a lot better. Parents sometimes have a lot of questions about, you know, exactly what this career pathway is like. We're going to talk about how we learn. We're going to talk about program completion, academics at Eastland, a little bit about the schedule and the uniform, and what BPA is. And then basically what's going to happen over the summer and then into the fall there, okay? A lot of this information, and I know you've probably already been there because you know, you're here at this meeting, and that's where the link was, even though I did send the link out in that email. But the Eastland-Fairfield website has a lot of information. They've put up a separate page, a separate site called One Day at EFCTS. And that's where a lot of the information is going to be. I'm sorry, I'm clicking all around here. That's going to have your uniform information right here. And we'll be talking a little bit about that, okay? Okay, so interactive media, it's a career pathway. It's an actual real technology or information technology career pathway. We do learn programming a little bit, but basically it's media communications, video and audio production, animation, web design, and graphic design. We call this a school to college pathway. A lot of career technical programs are school to work, where they learn a trade and then they go into work. In our world, we, you know, if you want to work in the media industry, typically you'll have to get at least a 2 or a 4 year. We do have some agreements with some colleges and some businesses, and some externships and internships are available, and job shadowing as well. The media outlook, we're looking at a pretty good growth here. I got this from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So if you want to work in media communications, let me let some more people in. Here we go. All right. You can see that it's a growing field. It's a field that a lot of people are getting jobs in and making a living at as well. So this slide really is for the parents to really make you understand this is not a club. It's not an audiovisual club. It's career pathway training, and we are learning basically the introductions of all these types of jobs. If you dig deeper, you can see that under media and communications, you can say, all right, you know, say you're looking at film and video editing or camera operators, you can see what their median pay was and what type of job outlook there is. So Film and video editors and camera operators are definitely what we train our students to do. So if you ever want to get onto the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics to see what the job growth is like, you're more than welcome. It's actually kind of interesting. All right, so the courses that we do for this career pathway, junior year is going to be video and sound and animation. And then senior year is creating, editing digital graphics and 3D techniques. Now keep in mind, we do animation, video, and sound. We do everything all year, both years. So, but we focus a little bit more on those and really learning the basics the junior year, and then really, really branching out into project-based learning the senior year. I'm not going to read this to you. It's pretty basic. These are the job descriptions or the course descriptions. I do like to point out that video and sound, it's collaborative work. We have to learn how to work with people. We have to learn how to work for people. And it's not just sit at the computer by ourselves and do it. We actually have to be collaborative. The video and sound or the animation course, kind of the same thing. A lot of pre-production techniques that we learn, like storyboarding, and definitely learn how to just, animate characters, but also tell stories as well for a number of reasons. We might be making a commercial, or we might be doing an informative piece, or we're just doing entertainment. The senior year, we really get in a lot of graphic design. Graphic design is in everything. Really, the biggest thing between graphic design and animation is that our pictures move, but you still have to understand the graphic design concepts there: color theory, typography, all those kind of graphic design type things. And then we do get into 3D modeling. We do that actually during the junior year, but we really get into 3D sketching, isometric drawing, perspective drawing, both digitally and manually with paper pencil. We do offer college credit. We've got articulated agreements with a lot of schools. Also in the state of Ohio, there's the Ohio Career Technical Credit Transfer. We call them C-tags. And 12 semester hours if you are a completer. That means if you get through both years and you pass both, all 4 courses, you end up with 12 semester hours that can be transferred to any school within the state. We have some agreements directly with Columbus State, also with Central Ohio Technical College and University of Northwestern Ohio, things like that. Those are called articulated agreements. They look at what we teach, what I teach, and then they offer those credits. Okay, I'm gonna move my screen here a little bit. All right. We learn 2 basic ways. We have to learn the jargon. We have to learn the skills. We have to learn all of the, fun things like how to set up tripods, how to take pictures with cameras properly on manual, how to use all the software. So, there is going to be lessons that we are learning concepts by, what the production process is, legal and ethical things in the media, how to work with a client and as a team, terminology, and how to use equipment. We also offer the Adobe Certified Associate training for Photoshop, Illustrator, and Premiere. And there's going to be some academic sides of it. It's just not all project. It's a lot of projects, but there's going to be some book learning, as I call it, learning the the terminology and all that kind of stuff. Let some more people in. Okay. All right. The knowledge and skills-based learning, obviously we're going to be doing a lot of, reading out of manuals. learning how to, do step-by-step instruction. So reading is kind of important. And we do it both that way. And then I also do some video tutorials and that type of stuff. Project-based learning, basically projects are, can range from, short films to just interview pieces, to documentaries, to animated shorts, things like that. This is where we create original work from, we take all the information that, we learned, and then we actually create something that we can say that's, it's ours. We do real or scenario based. Sometimes we actually do create some stuff for real clients. And we always come up with some type of purpose. We don't just grab a camera and go. We plan it. We have a purpose for the video, either to promote, inform, or entertain. And we always come up with a message, and that message has to be, aimed towards a target audience. And if our audience doesn't get our message, then we failed. It's not their fault. It's our fault that we haven't done that. So we definitely practice creating those things so we can, be professional. All of the instruction is going to be through our learning management system. It's kind of funny. We went into this, this remote teaching scenario that we have, and it really wasn't that hard for me because we do it all the time. I basically run what I call a hybrid learning environment, where there's class instruction, but there's also online stuff that we do. So everything was up there already, and it was just really easy to kind of flip a switch, and all I really had to do was some of my lectures, I had to put videos up there for them. So the learning management system works really well. You're definitely going to need to check Canvas every single day. Parents, you can create your own sign-on so you can see the progress of your students, and that will, that really helps, keep things moving there. Program completion, basically it's grades and attendance. It's really important. Keep your grades up and come to school. We've got state and industry certifications. You can see those badges there for Premiere, Photoshop, and Illustrator. We also have the state industry technical skills exam. We refer to it as web exam. And those are things that will go into your career passport, and schools and potential employers love to see these things. You'll also have a digital portfolio by the end of your senior year, and that is basically a collection of all your original work. Okay, I'm going to, let me see if I get this working here. All right, we have been instructed to show a video to you, so hopefully this will work. All right, I'm gonna have to go to, here we go. Mr. Watts, give me a thumbs up if you can hear it okay.
Welcome to Eastland Career Center. Did you know not only does ECC have amazing labs, they also offer an assortment of incredible academic classes. For example, math. Math offers geometry, algebra 2, algebra 3, transitions, statistics, pre-calculus, and calculus. Several of these courses are offered as College Credit Plus classes. You do need 4 credits of math for graduation. Science. Keep in mind if you're a cosmetology or dental assisting student, it is required that you complete anatomy and physiology during your junior year. That is, if you have not already completed it at your home school. Those programs are also encouraged to take chemistry their senior year. If you are in landscape design and management, it is required that you complete plant science during your junior year. If you're in medical office, it is required that you complete anatomy and physiology your senior year. And if you are in culinary, it is required that you complete biology food science your senior year. Science offers anatomy and physiology, physics, chemistry, environmental science, plant science, and biology food science. You are required to have 3 credits of science to graduate. Social Studies. Social Studies offers government and economics. Both are semester courses taken your junior year. Each course is worth half a credit. The electives for Social Studies include psychology, sociology, history through film, and world geography. If you have not completed American history or world history, those courses are available through Trekka Online. You are required to have 3 credits of social studies courses to graduate. English. English offers English 3, English 4, Accelerated English 3, Accelerated English 4, and Freshman Composition, which is a CCP course. You need 4 credits of English to graduate. Our Media Center. The Media Center provides fiction and nonfiction books in many formats, print and audio books, and ebooks. The Media Center also provides access to several databases for school projects. The Media Center is open daily from 7:45 a.m. until 2:30 p.m. It provides comfortable space for student collaboration, quiet study, printing, researching, and unwinding during lunch. Ms. Anderson, our awesome media specialist, is always available to assist you in finding just the right books or material and in using the databases to find the information that you will need to be successful at ECC. The SLC, Student Learning Center. There are several reasons to visit the SLC, which include help on assignments, taking a test, it's a quiet place to study, to use a computer, or if you need organizational help. Our awesome Miss Huey and incredible Miss Maddox are happy to help you. The SLC is open from 7:30 a.m. until 2:30 p.m., and it is open for all students. For scheduling requests, you will need to visit the website for one day. The website is onedayefcts.com. Once you're on that website, you will click the link to submit your scheduling requests for the 2021 school year. This will send you to a Google form. Please make sure to complete all of the information within the form. Welcome to ECC. We can't wait to meet you.
Okay. And we can talk later about what was wrong with that video as we analyze it a little deeper. Okay, Mr. Watts, you can take it away on this.
Okay. Well, hey guys, I know some of you get popped in before I can introduce myself, but I'm Mr. Watts. I'm an intervention specialist here at Eastland. I mostly co-teach in math and science. Of course, that could be from year to year. First off, I want to congratulate each and every one of you guys for making the decision to improve your future. I know now is the perfect time to kind of make that decision, even with what's all going on. So kudos to you guys. I know Mr. Seymour, I've worked with him for a few years, and I know he's a top-notch teacher, and he will allow you to gain the skill set needed to be successful in this field. And also, just think that how everyone is going virtual right now with this online learning that's happening kind of forced us into this. But the way the world works is changing, and this course kind of fits right into kind of what the world is turning into, this digital world. So being part of this lab will definitely help improve, help you be successful in this field. Just think, or I also want to mention that one of the best things I personally have experienced working at Eastland over the years is the close communication among staff members. I know that everyone works together. We're all on the same page, and we both help each other out with creating things and kind of meeting the needs of students. So we're a family here at Eastland, and I think you'll experience that as well during your time at Eastland Career Center. As for academics, I know Mr. Miller kind of went through a lot in that video. I'll just kind of point out some highlights to what I've seen students do. I know there's CCP credit classes, which she mentioned. So those are available where you can gain college credit by taking some of your classes. There's credit recovery through TRECA. Typically, if students don't have credit for PE and health, those are options for those students. And if you're short any other credit, you can take TRECA to get re-caught up to where you're at. Also, the special education department has a very solid support system in place with the Student Learning Center, as they call it. And they also have supported study halls. So there's a lot of things in place to for you guys and really all students to receive help, get assistance, and kind of meet you kind of where you're at with your need. And that's the thing for like Eastland. I know there's lots of opportunities to get help and guidance. As far as courses, all of them are very interactive and relevant. I know in economics and government, there's a lot of real life topics you guys talk about. They go through some of the things I know students really enjoyed were the stock market game, kind of learning how the stock market works and kind of competing among your classmates. There's also, you also create budgets, work on building a retirement plan, kind of thinking ahead. And also sharing your voice in local issues. That's just to name a few things that you might find yourself doing in government and economics. And then there's also other courses you can take as far as electives in that as well. I know in math and English, a lot of things are related to real life and are very technology focused. Some assignments you might see yourself doing is kind of one of the cool things I thought about was the Shark Tank product, where students kind of develop their own product and then they had to present it in front of the teachers and the panel to see if they would accept their product or not. It's kind of interesting, creative. Also, you might find yourself creating individualized budgets, like paying rent or how to buy a car and finding out what you can afford. And also, you can work on like doing your taxes. That's just to name a few things that you might actually learn about in your class. As far as science, I know they do a lot of things that are related to real life, like finding solutions to everyday issues. Some things you might find yourself doing would be like making your own rock candy, kind of going through that process. You might be conducting taste testing experiments, developing a golf course in a metro park and all the consequences that go along with that, or maybe building a mousetrap powered car. So just kind of a lot of different creative, interactive things that the teachers kind of have planned for a lot of the students. The classes at ECC are cross-curricular, so that means they relate to your lab. I know in algebra, you'll find a lot of times what you do in algebra relates directly with this lab, which is like doing coding, HTML, and JavaScript. So that's just a few things. Again, I wanted to congratulate you guys for joining the Eastland Career Center team here. Look forward to meeting each and every one of you guys in person, hopefully soon, fingers crossed, right? And definitely looking forward to working with you and building your future. Like I said, if you have any questions related to academics, we can wait towards the end of this and you can ask the questions then. But Mr. Seymour will now talk to you guys about career passports.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Watts. A lot of good information about the academics. There really is a lot of relevancy with what we do in our lab. All those business type things, economics and budget and things like that. We are a business program. We're a business information technology program, and our career tech student organization is Business Professionals of America. So that is very relevant. There is also, I'd like to mention, there's a new history course. It's going to be history through film that's being offered. So I really recommend that you guys look at that and see when you can take that. All right, the career passport is basically what you end up with after 2 years. So when you're a senior and you graduate, we don't give you a diploma. You still get a diploma from your high school. But what the career passport is it has your resume, has a list of all the proficient skills that you've learned, your career goals, a certificate of completion, and then any of the industry credentials that you have received, including the Adobe and the web. It's a really great thing that just kind of you can drop down on someone's desk and say, this is what I've learned. Career or academic advisors at colleges and potential employers love to see that, and people do get jobs with it. I know the graphic on the right there is last year's schedule. I haven't been able to get it, but basically, what we want you to know is that you do follow the Eastland-Fairfield Career Technical School schedule. So a lot of people ask, what if there's a snow day? We kind of just play those as it happens. Mr. Carter's in. That's good. But you do follow our schedule, and I know there's lots of different questions that you might have about next year and things like that. We'll be in communication. Back to school night is August 11th from 4 to 7:30. Basically, that is kind of the start, the kickoff of our school year. And you get your schedules, you get your photo for your ID, so make sure your hair looks good that night. And you take care of all the forms and all that kind of stuff. So what we like to do is the day one, when you come in on August 13th, especially I like to start learning right away and not have to deal with all that administrative stuff. So August 11th is really important. First day of school is August 13th. You got to be in your uniform. I know a lot of you guys haven't had a uniform, but all career technical schools are expected that, because we like to encourage that it is basically a work practice, that most work practices, most places of employment do have a dress code. So we do the uniform to make it easy for you, actually. The daily schedule is 8:05 to 2:19, unless it gets changed next year. And again, this daily schedule thing might change because of some of the adaptations we might have to make, depending on, what the governor and the health officials decide that we have to follow there. Okay. So we do have a closed lunch. I do say that, so it's not appropriate for you to get in your car and go grab lunch and come back. Okay. So I'd like to always throw that in there too. Speaking of uniform, our vendor is Proforma. You can go to that One Day website to get all the information there. We basically have a black polo, khaki pants, comfortable shoes. You can get your own khaki pants as long as they're appropriate. No joggers, no sweatpants, no yoga pants and things like that. Okay. Suggested are 3 to 4 shirts, depending on your laundry schedule, a couple pair of pants. And then it does tend to get a little cold in our lab. We don't wear coats. We don't wear hoodies or anything like that. We do have a fleece or a jacket. I think it's gone to a jacket. It's actually a really nice Eastland Career Center jacket. And then I'll talk a little bit more about business professional dress. There are days that you're going to have to be, you're going to have, men are going to have to be in ties. Ladies are going to be either in, dress slacks or, appropriate professional, business professional dress or skirt. And there are no fees. There's no program fees. The only thing you really have to worry about is purchasing the uniforms through our vendor. And I'm expecting questions on that at the end, so we're almost there. Business Professionals of America is our career technical student organization. It is basically where we are. We're given opportunities for leadership. You can run for office. We do community service, business and social networking. I think the biggest thing, though, is the competitive events for skill attainment and recognition. There are 3 levels. We go through a regional or local level, and all students are required to participate at that level. Then if they move on, they go to state. And all of these projects all these events are exactly what we're learning how to do. Video production team, broadcast news production team, animation team, graphic design promotion. There's a photography event. There's all kinds of events that are that's right along the lines of what we're learning. So there's going to be more information about that later, but that is our events. You can see these students here. This is them at nationals, and they did very well. Computer animation team on top, and then computer modeling down the bottom. She got 3rd in the nation, and they got the team got 6th in the nation. So that was really fun. Many of you have already gotten on Remind. I'll be sending this out again. If you could get on that, that's my main way of kind of communicating to people very fast and direct. Many of you are familiar with this, but I've created an IM 2022 class. So please sign up for that if you haven't done so already. And there again is the website. Any other information, onedayefcts.com is where you go to get the uniforms and that type of stuff. Okay, so a welcome packet probably is going to be sent out here during the summer. A lot of information's coming your way. Definitely order those uniforms. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up for questions right now. Stop sharing here. Let me see all your faces. There you are. Oh, hi, Mrs. Ferraro. How are you? Okay. Anybody have any questions? If you can type them in the, if you don't want to talk, that's fine. If you want to type them in, we'll go ahead and monitor that. You know, go ahead and ask a question if you have any concerns or anything like that. Don't be shy.
Mr. Seymour, can I talk about scheduling real quick?
Sure can.
I don't know if you already addressed it before I was able to join, but I just want to say hi to everybody. My name's Mrs. Ferraro, and I am a school counselor at Eastland, and I'll primarily be working, you know, with the interactive media students. So it's nice to meet all of you and see all of you guys tonight. I'm glad that you joined us, and looking forward to having you at Eastland in August. So if you are interested in selecting courses for next year on the One Day website, which is where you guys came to join tonight, there is a link that you can click on to request your classes for next year. It's a Google form. It'll walk you through English and then math and science and social studies. I know Mr. Watts went through, you know, our academics earlier, and you guys saw the video as well. So if you want to request your classes, that form is quick and easy. We get copies of your transcripts from your homeschool, so I will make sure that what you are selecting is appropriate and keeps you on track for graduation. There's also a form if you have any scheduling questions. I will put my email in the chat box over here, but if you fill in that scheduling form or that scheduling question form, that'll come right to me as well, and then I can either email you with answers or I can give you a call if you prefer the phone, and we can work through all of the individual questions that you guys might have as far as scheduling goes. So in this setting, it's kind of hard to answer all of those individual scheduling questions, but feel free to reach out to me through email and I will be sure to get back to you, and we'll make sure you guys are all set and on track in August. Okay. So it was nice, like I said, to meet you guys. I'm going to hop into another lab here and just pop around, but I look forward to meeting you guys all hopefully in August, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your school year and your summer. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Okay, let me go over some of the questions that are in the chat room here. Black pants are appropriate, but that's kind of where we get into you know, some of, you know, people wearing like yoga pants and things like that. So just make sure they are black, actual black pants, and not the you know, the inappropriate joggers or or yoga pants. Yeah, uniform is required every day. That is an expectation. You got to have your uniform and your ID visible at all times. Let's see some other ones here. Yeah, we don't have to wear dress shoes every day. You can wear tennis shoes. Black jeans are not okay, so we're not supposed to wear jeans. No jeans. Do we have to wear a dress? Email. Okay. Definitely contact Ms. Ferraro at aferraro@efcts.us if you do want to do some schedule changes. What am I missing? Any others? Oh, snow days. Typically, this is it. If your school is not busing, obviously, we're not going to count that against you. But as it is, if busing is available, and say Canal Winchester has a 2-hour delay, and we don't, which is odd. Sometimes it happens though. You would just come in 2 hours late. You would miss most of morning lab, but that's basically how it works. Okay. Yes, you do need a parking pass, though. That's part of your the forms that you do on back to school night. Yes. Well, let me see. I don't know if this is completed, but does the email come with your IM2022 remind thing? I don't think I understand that question. You are issued an at efcts.us email, and that can be associated with the remind. But right now, at this point in time, you don't know your email address, so that will be the email that you can associate to your remind account. Yeah, I can put up the email, the remind code again. Let me do that. While I'm doing that, Mr. Watts, you want to try and handle some of the other ones that are coming in? Mr. Watts there?
Doesn't look like it.
Hey, Mr. Seymour, Mr. Carter, I'm addressing some of the questions as well as they come in.
Sure. Okay, there's the remind code. There's the procedures for that. You don't have to have the application on your smartphone to do it. You can just do it through texting. So you just want to do it that way. Just 81010 and then do at G6E8EA. Any other questions?
I have a question specifically for my school. Fairfield Union, we have a week off of break for the fair, for the Fairfield County Fair. Would that be counted against me because the busing transportation wouldn't be available? So what would I have to do during that week?
Busing is available actually during the fair from all those schools. And again, that probably in that situation, I don't know exactly with your school, but in that situation, I think you have to follow our schedule. Okay. And there's been many times where, like, Groveport, which is right next door, they don't have school one day but you still have to come to lab.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm on the Remind app, and I tried to use the code, and it said class not found.
Super technology issues. Yay. Did you get the email that I sent today?
Yes.
And you tried that link?
Let me see.
Yeah, try that link.
Use the app icon.
Excuse me? Where's the at?
The at icon is what you're supposed to use before the code.
Yes. Yeah. You're supposed to use it's called an aspirand or something like that, I think.
Ampersand.
Ampersand. Something like you. I knew it had a name. It's like those things at the end of your shoelaces. They have names too. I can never remember them, you know, so. All right. Any other questions?
The little thing at the end of the shoelace, it's called an aglet.
Oh,
yeah.
I knew somebody would know it. That's awesome.
Yeah, a song about Phineas and Ferb.
That is exactly where I remembered it from.
Yeah.
A man of culture, I see.
Indeed.
All right. My email, let me put that back up. I'm kind of bopping back and forth here because I want to see your faces. I wish we were meeting together. You know, this is so strange. This is the strangest year of my entire teaching career. And I've been teaching a long time. Okay. So there's my email. I prefer email, but there's my phone number too, but I'm not there. So I'm not going to be able to get phone calls, but, if you have any questions, just email me at tseymour@efcts.us. That domain right there basically is going to be your email next year. You're going to probably have, a special code, special name up here that's going to fit your lab and in your name, and that'll be it. But do we have any other questions?
Can I ask real quick?
Yeah.
For Mrs. Ferraro, her email, what is it again?
It is, let me type it. Actually, it's in the chat. It's in the chat. She put it up there in the chat. So
Did she?
Yeah.
I got a question about like all the programming. So when will we have access to all the programs like for assignments? Like when we're using like doing assignments for a program for Premiere or Photoshop, when will we have access for that?
It'll be the first day of school. If you have all your forms turned in. One of the forms is basically an acceptable use policy, internet agreement. And once you have that, you'll be issued your user ID and your password, and then you can change your password to anything. And that automatically connects to Adobe Creative Cloud, and then you'll be able to have 2 sign-ons at a time. So you can have a sign-on at work at school, and then you can have a sign-on at home as well. So you can download the programs, but I will say that when you're at home, you have to have internet access all the time because it kind of phones home. It's a subscription. So that's how that works, okay? And I do get parents asking me whether or not they need to have computers at home. It's a good idea. We don't require it. In the past, it's been real nice for students to have these programs at home so they can actually work on their projects at home, because sometimes they're very time intensive, especially when we're getting ready for competitions. So it's pretty good to have, it would be good to have a pretty good computer that can handle some of this. I'm not telling you go out and buy a new computer because most of the work can be done in lab. But we're anticipating scheduling changes next year. And we were running around trying to get students computers that could actually run the software for this shutdown that we're experiencing now. So, okay.
Sir.
So this.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You go ahead. It's fine.
No, see, this is how you do one of these things. You just plow through. You gotta, you gotta be confident. Plow through them. Go ahead and ask your question.
I didn't want to interrupt somebody. I was just a little scared. But what I'm wondering is in the class, do we do a type of voiceover acting or something and animate or something?
If your project requires it, yeah.
Okay.
That's just one aspect of what we do.
I was gonna say that's what I've been telling my mom I want to do for my main job.
Yeah, but you're going to learn all the jobs when you're here at Eastland. because that we learn everything, not just what we want to do. And actually what ends up happening is a lot of people say, you know, I thought I wanted to really just specialize in this, but now I learned this, and it's like, this is kind of cool. I kind of want to do this part now. So, but you're going to be more marketable in the world, in business, if you can do a lot of different jobs instead of just one.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Question for equipment, can you bring some of the equipment that you have at home? For example, like if you have a gimbal or a camera?
No, we don't want the liability of your equipment being in our school. There has been times where some students have brought some, things in on special occasions where it's like, we don't have it. We've got a gimbal, we've got various cameras, we've got, we've got pretty much everything that you want. But the liability of bringing your own equipment in, they don't even let me bring my own equipment in. So just, but if it's a situation, we can, lock it up in the lab during the day, and then you can come and pick it up. I just don't want you walking through the school with it, and the security of it, I worry about. Definitely have a good pair of headphones, just earbuds. You don't have to go out and buy $350 Bose or Beats or anything like that, but definitely have a good set of earbuds. I got these right now. I'm actually wearing earbuds right now. Did you guys see these? They're like
tiny, too tiny.
I know, but this is what they use like in the news. Like, yeah, they're I like this.
I actually have
$21.
I have a quick question.
Yes, Claire, go ahead.
What at what point do you think we'll be able to meet the whole class?
I hope on the first day of school.
Or at least make introductions, I guess.
Yeah. First day of school, we do a little icebreaker thing, just get to know everybody, because that's part of the fun, is what we're all together, but I'm anticipating some schedule strangeness next year because of they're going to still try and do the social distancing and that kind of stuff. So hopefully day one we'll all get together. Hopefully. I miss my classes so much right now. My seniors, I'm not going to be able to see them all together, and it crushes my heart. But we got to deal with it, man. We got to deal with it. Stay safe. Stay safe. And we're in this together. Remember that? That's been shoved down our throat.
Yeah.
We're in this together, but we're like 6+ feet apart.
Yeah.
We're in this together, but not two together.
Right. All right. Did you have a question, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Matt is coming from Gahanna Jefferson, where they have, Chromebooks for everything. And I'm assuming you guys don't have that situation at Eastland. It's
a Chromebook wouldn't even be able to run our programs. So
okay.
Yeah.
So for the academic side, it's just books and paper.
No, we've got computers in every academic class.
Okay, but nothing they're taking home for home
not that I know of, not yet. But again, that might be one of those things that
eventually
might change. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know they are moving to Chromebooks, but we don't have what is called a 1-to-1 program where it's checked out to that student and they take it home. Yeah, and Chromebooks again wouldn't run the Adobe products. So,
and Mrs. Charles, we do have there's a laptop card in every academic class, so she'll have access to that. A lot of teachers use Progress Book and Canvas to post assignments. So as long as she can log in, she can get everything from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question. Oh, go ahead.
It's okay. Can I bring my own computer if I just don't want to use the Chromebooks?
We don't have. Well, probably not. Probably not.
Is it King Julian?
Yeah.
You can. It's not encouraged because again, if you're liable for it. We're not liable for that. So if you take responsibility for it at all costs, at all times, and it's yours, and that's where you do most of your work, you may not be able to get onto the school network through your personal computer. So just keep those things in mind. Okay.
No, we have a pretty tight network where personal devices aren't able to get on the Wi-Fi. So it's pretty tight.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a Mac at home, which is what I'm calling on now. Would the programs we use at school, would those be able to run on my Mac as well?
Yeah, most definitely. Depending on how old that is, what kind of processor you have, and what kind of graphics card is in it.
Okay.
Yep, that's what we have. We have iMacs. It's going to be
My computer would probably explode. This little box I'm on.
Yeah, most do. It's mainly RAM. It's mainly RAM and the graphics card that can't handle it. Storage is storage. A hard drive is a hard drive. It's it's not. And most processors, they're selling computers nowadays. I mean, if your computer is like 5 or 10 years old, then yeah, your processor wouldn't be able to keep up. But most of the processors that are out right now, and you can go to Adobe's website and see the minimum requirements for computers if you want to check on that. So, okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Well, it was great seeing you, but hopefully in August when we get together, it's gonna be a lot different, and we're gonna be able to get together and create some cool stuff, and I can't wait to learn about you guys and to see what you guys already know and what you don't know, because that's where it's exciting for me. I love showing people new stuff, and then I also like saying, hey, this person already knows this. Why don't you go show them? I make you guys the teachers too, because you guys are amazing, and you're going to be able to find out all this kind of new stuff. And hopefully, when we get together and we start doing this stuff, the lab time is going to go by so quick because it's just going to be so engaging and fun. So, okay, last call for a question. If not, we're going to go ahead and sign off. All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, guys. This was a great turnout. I appreciate it. And I'll be in touch through email and Remind. Okay. All right. Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bonne journée.
Bye.
Bye.